Welcome to Frame Forward. In today's episode, we're speaking with Ranjit Mullakady. He is the founder of Central Alberta Film Festival, and he's going to share with us a little bit about what does the future of film festivals look like? What kind of technology are we going to be filming movies on in the near future? And also talking a little bit about Bollywood. So take a journey with us as we go from the frame we're on and move one frame forward. Today I'm with Ranjit Mullakady, who runs the Central Alberta Film Festival and is a filmmaker here in Red Deer as well. So Ranjit, tell me a little bit about Central Alberta Film Festival and how you got that started.
Well, I came from Bollywood, and when I came here 25 years ago, there is no filmmaking in small place like Red Deer. So I've been cruising around looking for a filmmaker to put together, but I couldn't find any. So I decided to create a Central Alberta Film Festival, which is people can showcase their film. These days, films are made in so many ways. In the past, they used to use film. And today's world, we are using a digital world. It's so much different than the film. Film, you have one shot. And digital, you can erase, take two, erase. I think the film festival started in this world. There's a specific market for the film, which is have a certain people can do it. It's like Hollywood, Bollywood. They have a certain company, they are occupied as their own entity. But how about the other small people who want to make film? Where they're going to showcase? They didn't have a platform. So in the world, all creativity turned into a film festival so everybody can show their films. Everybody can enjoy their own work on a bigger screen like Hollywood movies. That's my thought.
Cool. So you've been able to help filmmakers to showcase their films on a bigger screen, which is awesome. I know a few of mine have showcased it at CAF, so that's really cool, and I appreciate that.
Thank you.
And I've seen other local filmmakers. I've also seen films from all over the world. So Central Alberta Film Festival actually does take in international productions sometimes. How do people get their films into a film festival like yours?
Film Festival have a platform called Film Freeway. So Film Freeway is a massive platform. Anybody can submit their film, then select. We have a judges, they select, and the good movies go on the bigger screen. When I made one movie and I sent it to Film Festival, when I saw my own movie on a bigger screen, like a Hollywood style movie, on the same theater, and my film's running, my heart gone. Mm-hmm. Wow. So that's kind of a happiness, fun I'm looking for, and the other filmmakers. Other filmmakers have the same desire. I wish my film will be on the screen so I can watch my screen, bigger screen than the TV.
Mm-hmm. Cool, thank you. Now, how many film festivals do you think there are in the world right now?
Well, according to my calculation, per city have one film festival.
So if every city has a film festival, there's a lot of cities. We're talking probably
every province
10,000 or more, 20, 30,000. I don't know. There's a lot of film festivals.
A lot of film festivals. So in terms of Alberta, mm-hmm. Think about how Alberta have a small cities. It's a one province. Calgary have it, Edmonton have, Okotoks, you name it. Mm-hmm. Every single small city have a film festival. Are they successful? Yes, they are. Because small city have ambitious people who wanted to create their own film in a bigger screen. So they make the film and submit to film festival and join them to watch it on a bigger screen.
Cool. So looking at film festivals around the province or around the world, what are some things that you're looking at in the past, the present? What's the future of film festivals? Are they going to continue to be the same as they are, or what are some changes that you're seeing in film festivals?
Film festivals, in terms of changes, that have been happening since pandemic. I believe some people want to do online, and some would like to do it on a bigger screen. In my personal opinion, if I'm a filmmaker, I would like to see it on a bigger screen rather than computer. And today's world, most of them are wanted to see their film in the conjunction of film festival on a small screen. But that's my personal choice. I would like to see my bigger film in a bigger screen.
Makes sense. So you think as much as you love the big screen, a lot of festivals are catering more to that small screen so that people can watch from all over the world, right? So if I'm here in Canada and I submit a film to a festival in India, I'm probably not flying there to go and represent my film unless it's like a very high budget thing. So I can see my film at the festival, but online. That's an interesting thing as we get more connected.
Yeah. So there's another financial way you can tell. You can consider that if I wanted to watch a movie in a bigger banner, any bigger film festival, I can stay home and watch with all my family, rather than spending all the air ticket and go sit in one chair to watch the movie. It's a one person get so much expensive to go to the other side of the world and watch movies. I'd rather sit home and watch with my family under a bigger banner.
That makes sense. Looking at film festivals from an international perspective, right? So if I have a film that I've made here in Canada, again, let's say India, I'm sending a film there, what sort of differences do you think we might see at a film festival or a film market or different places around the world?
Every city have a different demographic. So they looking for the film, what their audience like. If your movie is built in a way international people gonna like it, so everybody gonna accept your film. If it's not, then you have a certain cities gonna accept. If I happen to submit 10 film in 10 different countries, I probably got like maybe 5. And 5 will reject it. So that always happen in the film. In the film market is so it's a fine line between the audience and the film. If people like it, you're gonna get super hit. If you don't like it, you're gonna hit the floor.
Let's talk a little bit about Bollywood. So that's where you began to get excited about film. Tell me about your experiences with Bollywood.
My journey with the Bollywood was when I was 21. So 3 shift. I worked 3 shift and 2 hours sleep, get up and go again.
Wow.
So in Bollywood, I believe when I was growing up, it done in a year, 1 movie. These days, 3 months.
Yeah.
3 to 4 months. They are so talented, they can do 1 hour job in 15, 20 minutes. Bollywood take a lot of people. In one set, you probably have 60 to 70 people who are working on one project. So everything goes so fast.
Right.
Yeah. Edited, color correction, everything done in a theater. Release day is already on the platform. Then their marketing is huge marketing. The way they're marketing is unbelievable.
Tell me some of the differences, what you see with Bollywood marketing versus what, I guess, North American film marketing looks like.
In Bollywood, I don't know because I left India for 23 years.
Mm-hmm.
So the way they're marketing, they hit every single demographic, from kids, from adult to kids. They just blast every single radio station, a poster on the street. They have a poster every single car, every single bus, every single moving vehicle, they have billboard. And their billboards are huge billboard. It's bigger than a building.
Okay.
Their commercial is wrapped around buildings.
Wow.
Yeah. I didn't see one single bit in Canada. That's the difference between India and Canada is they have a specific rule, city permits.
Mm-hmm.
What city allowed to do and how long allowed to do. And in India, no problem. It's biggest you can see is like maybe 7-story building. That big of a banner they put it up.
Wow.
Yeah.
Cool.
So there are some streets in Mumbai. When I was growing up, that was called Bombay. Now it's Mumbai. So there's every single city, every single street have a poster.
Mm-hmm.
You go to a restaurant, there's a poster down there. The new film is coming. So if a producer produce film for $1 billion,
Mm-hmm.
and they cover in a week or two.
Wow.
Yeah, because they release all over across India in one time,
Yeah.
and they cover money within the first week or second week.
So last time you were back in India, what did you see that was different from when you were 21 years old versus what you saw? Did you still, are the advertisements you're seeing, big ads, are those still the same? Has it gotten bigger? Has it changed?
Good question. Back in the day, they have a posters. Take a glue and a poster and stick them on the wall and stick them on the banner. Now they have a huge electronic board. Every single place I have an electronic. Press a button, all changes. Super electronic. And all the devices, they market every single devices is generated in India. TV, cell phone, you name it.
Yeah.
Every single kid's gonna get.
So looking at how films are promoted in India versus here, so you're seeing bigger promotions, bigger marketing. Do you think that there's room for that type of marketing here in Canada or North America?
Well, there are some platform, but you have a limited because of the city. Yeah, and also these days devices get all the promotion.
Okay.
I don't see any film poster on the street.
Right.
I don't see any film poster on the banner of the building. Everything is on a device, TV, electronically. That's what I would say. Electronic commercials, banners, everything in electronic. But here, when trailer comes out, every single devices have.
Mm-hmm.
But think about the people who don't have a cell phone. How they get to know.
Right. What would you say would be a great way to overcome that gap, to make sure that people are seeing the promotions for movies that are coming out, or should they? I guess that's another question is, what do you think the future is of promotion of movies? How are we going to find out what movies are playing?
Well, these days, back in the day, I have an old phone, means I have 5 years old phone. And today's phone, 3 months old, is an old phone.
Mm-hmm.
So every month, there's a new technology comes.
Mm-hmm.
Before even brain thinks that technology is way far ahead of you.
Right. Are there any technologies that you can think of right now that you think are going to be coming, whether it's soon or years from now?
I know in the future, probably you don't have to sit anywhere. You don't have a restaurant. All the food comes to your door. You don't have to cook. You don't have to make a film. You just think about it. Your film is done.
Oh, yeah, that could be a thing.
Yeah.
For sure, right? As soon as we start to tap into people's brains,
Yeah.
your imagination creates it.
Yeah, so if you have a chip in your brain, you think about it, hey, I want to do that film in this way, and it will create on the screen immediately.
I could see that.
Yeah.
We'll have to talk to Elon Musk about something like that.
Yeah, yeah. You want to edit? Go like this. Doom. Done. Press play.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, I think you could be right. So we've talked a little bit about, on this series, we talked a bit about virtual reality as the next, as where film is kind of starting to go, or content creation is starting to go. What do you think about other things like that, like virtual reality? Are you going to be watching a movie in a virtual reality? Is Central Alberta Film Festival going to be in a put on goggles and go to the festival?
Yeah. So, in my opinion, the virtual reality is kind of making a couch potato. Yeah. So you can watch either sit at home and connected to new release movie and sit at home and lay down and watch movie, or you have interact with a human. Future is coming that nobody going to get up. People going to sit in a couch and watch movie. There won't be a theater. Since television starts, I don't know, in 70s and 60s, there was a theater every single corner. Since TV starts, there is no theater. The theater sales went down to 99% down. Most of the theater shut down. Then they created live shows. Even people are glued onto TV because of the live show. If somebody wants to watch hockey, they don't have to go to the stadium. They can watch at home.
Right.
Even better quality. Back in the day, you had to go to the stadium and watch the show. That's the difference.
So you're seeing more and more moving towards watching movies in our homes, smaller screens.
Yeah.
Whether it's a TV or a cell phone or virtual reality, we're bringing it smaller and smaller. What do you think that's going to do to the types of movies that we make? I'm thinking right now, when I go to the theater, I'm not going to the theater to watch a romantic comedy or a drama. I'm more likely to go for the big blockbuster things with the effects and the superheroes blasting buildings apart, because it looks and sounds cool on a big screen. It doesn't look as cool on a little screen. What do you think is going to happen as we get to smaller and smaller screens? Are we going to see less of that, or are we still going to see those big things?
See, theater not going to die. That for sure. Theater experience, you're not going to get the same experience in a virtual reality. You might get extra entertainment, which you can't get in theater, but you might get in a virtual reality. But theater experience is a totally different experience. You gotta go and watch in a bigger theater to enjoy the real movie. Virtual reality, it's okay in a certain period. I don't know, some people are gonna get bored, they're gonna hurt eyes. I don't know what the device is gonna do to the human.
I don't know. I don't know how much research has been done on virtual reality and putting a screen right there.
Yeah, right in the eye.
Yeah. But I remember when I was a kid, it was don't sit too close to the TV.
Yeah.
So now we put it right there.
See, my most worried about virtual reality is that then people start walking on the street and watching movies, and somebody gonna hit, maybe an accident and jump off the cliff and jump in a hole. I was worried about that. As long as they create it attached to the wall, people won't move. If the virtual reality made wireless, then will be a big accident going to come. There will be a over and beyond what you can do to a human.
So with festivals, what you're seeing is maybe more going towards online, probably. How does that affect the type of content that filmmakers should be making? Should they be creating content that fits smaller screens better? Is that what we, especially independent filmmakers, should we be creating more of those things that suit a smaller screen? Does that change our framing? Like what happens as we move towards these smaller screen productions?
Yeah, if the production want to do a smaller screen, which is cheap and best, you can shoot film in a cell phone, which you can fit in a smaller screen. You're not looking at the small pixel to a huge, big blockbuster cinema theater, because that going to distort the image. But you're watching in a 3x5 screen. You don't have to shoot in a 6K.
Right.
Yeah, you don't have to shoot in a 2K. 1080p will, even 720 will work, because you're watching right to the eyeball.
Right. Speaking of cell phones, so Central Alberta Film Festival has been doing cell phone or smartphone filmmaking challenges the last couple of years. And I'm seeing that with other festivals as well, where they may have done a 48-hour film challenge and it was making whatever with whatever cameras, and now more and more are going to that smartphone challenge. Why do you think that is, and do you think that that's going to keep going in the future?
Well, cell phone being created in a way people have lots of fun with it, and also capture every single footage you can find in a high-res quality. The biggest expensive camera quality and the cell phone quality is pretty much close, but it's not there yet, because expensive camera have something to do with the pixel. Cell phone is just to see the variety of content, any kind of variety. You don't have to do editing, no color correction, just take a video and watch.
Right. So now we're seeing more and more where the technology to make movies is getting cheaper and cheaper, right? It used to cost hundreds of thousands of dollars to get a camera, and now we're getting really high quality cameras for hundreds of dollars, thousands of dollars maybe. Is this going to change how many filmmakers there are? Are we going to have just everybody with, picking up cameras and taking videos? We're using cell phones. What are you seeing with your festival as far as people submitting things? Does it look like it's more and more lower quality, or is the quality still there with these newer technologies?
So quality is there, but they are using a different equipment, different quality, but only technical people can understand what is the difference between cell phone film and a real camera film. As in the future is, I think most of the people start filming on cell phone. Yeah, because 5 years ago I went to India and I want to shoot a small movie, and they said, this is 7D, Canon 7D. And they said, the bigger blockbuster star will film in that movie, film that camera.
Really?
They did, yeah.
Oh, wow.
70D and 60D. They filmed on a 60D with the blockbuster superstar.
Yeah.
Interviews and the film, and some of what happened during the film. Some shots are missed, so they are not going to spend $100,000 or $1,000 to shoot that film. Right. Just go and take a DSLR and shoot that small scene in a small camera, put them in there, at a few second shot. Yeah. So I seen it in the movie. And I seen it one of my buddy doing it, and he was a cameraman. And he did awesome job with 60D. Right.
So that's really cool. So more and more we're seeing professional grade films that are made on cameras that are not really considered like the top, tens of hundreds of thousands of dollars. Now we're looking at cameras that you can get for $1,500
$1,500
being used to make a
That's right.
feature films or things like that. That's really cool. Tell me a little more about Bollywood.
For VFX, most of the film are edited. Hollywood movies are edited in India.
Okay.
VFX done in India, and they figure out why they cannot do it for their own film because of low budget.
Right.
Even though billions of dollars is a low budget. In Hollywood and Canada, if they make movie, half of the movies edited in India and color correction in India, which is called Bangalore.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. They have a special whole one-story building. It's full of editing suite. There are like 50 or 60 people working there just for editing for VFX.
So is labor costs just a lot
Labor cost.
lower in
Lower
India,
cost,
and
yeah.
that, but still high quality,
Very high
capability.
Frozen. Frozen VFX done in most of the scene in India.
Really? Okay.
Tangled.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I have friends in Bangalore who do these things, but they are very expensive compared to me. But if I go to India and do the same stuff over there, it will be cheaper for me.
Wow.
But being a Canadian, if I go back to India and make a film, they're expecting more from me.
Of course, right? And bringing in that outside money
Yeah.
it looks like an international production, looks like, yeah. And same thing here in Alberta. We look at Calgary is really heating up as far as film production. And what are we trying to grab? We want that American film crew to come up and use our spaces because we do definitely see the higher budget things. So that's what we see when we see international production.
That's
bring money into the economy. So
Yeah, I see. Because of pandemic, I lost one production from India supposed to come and do film just after the pandemic starts. They're supposed to come and do in Banff, and I was supposed to be line producer, and they got canceled, and the whole movie went sideways.
Yeah. A lot of films kind of went sideways during the pandemic, and now we're picking back up again at full steam again. But thinking about international co-productions, things like that, when we talk about somebody going to India to do some part of the filming or part of the VFX or post-production, or somebody coming from another country, from the United States to come to Canada, are you seeing more? Do you think there's more and more international co-productions, or are we going to start to kind of get smaller again as we go back to those smaller scale movies for the smaller screen, or is it going to be international?
Yeah, I believe so. It will still film in a bigger camera, but internationally they still wanted to do an international business transaction. Still, people going to go here and there because people have a different vision than the small device. If a real producer and director, they don't want to do it on a cell phone because it doesn't look like even there is a camera. All the artists, all the side actors, and all the actors need to know a real performance. They want to do a real performance. If you have a cell phone focus, actually you don't have to focus a cell phone.
No.
You just put them on a stick and have 100 people dancing. Do you think the cell phone gonna motivate them?
No.
No.
Put a big camera, big lens on there. It looks cool.
Exactly. Yeah. And more lightings, give motivation, and also they perform well.
Right.
Every single actor have a different way of performing, but if I have a cell phone sitting there and somebody is watching, hey, he's shooting on a cell phone, whatever. If they have a big lights and a big camera and big production, I'll go and check it out.
Yeah. So I'm just going to ask, do you have anything else that you'd like to share, either about film festivals or marketing films or Bollywood and international, kind of the different topics we've talked about? Anything that you want to share?
Yeah, I would like to share what's happening in Red Deer.
Yeah.
Red Deer is a niche market, 100,000 people living and 100,000 talent. You think about each person come out with their talent, this city will grow faster than any other city. We have a talent, but we don't have a source. If we have a source, we have a talent.
So by source, you're meaning like a project or a thing that pulls everybody together to bring their talent out so they can put their talent into something.
And make a bigger explosion in Red Deer.
Yeah, that'd be really cool. Thank you, Ranjit. It's been a great interview. And if anybody has any questions about any of the topics we've talked about today, please feel free to find us on Facebook or any other social media that we may be on, and ask any questions, and we'll try and get some answers. And if you want to make contact with Ranjit,
or you can email me, ranjit@cafilmfestival.ca.
Perfect.
Thank you, Jason. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
It was a great interview.
Yeah, thank you.
Awesome. Cut. Looking over the interview with Ranjit Mullakady, one thing that I noticed very much is that we really touched on marketing in a heavy way. Right from the idea that cameras are a part of what gets us excited about films. The bigger camera gets the actor excited to really be in their role because they know that there's a big camera on them. But the smaller, cheaper cameras are allowing more and more people to get into filmmaking so that they can get excited about creating new projects. And that when it comes to huge productions, they're still able to do the big things, put a big poster on the side of a building, billboards, ads all over social media. And for the smaller filmmaker, we're looking at marketing that is going to be more grassroots. It's going to be just the way we've seen with things like Indiegogo or Seed and Spark, where we create a campaign and maybe we give away some t-shirts and we give away copies of the movie to people who fund a certain amount. We're going to see more and more of that as we move into the Web3 crypto NFT space, as filmmakers create NFTs that will capture some of the magic of that film and be able to share that with their community and build community around that, so that by the time the film is even in production, there is a large community of people excited about it. And when it's done production, they are going to be going out and sharing that production with all of their friends and family and getting people excited about it. And I think that that's where independent filmmakers are going to go with their sharing of their productions. And when we look at film festivals, the purpose, it varies depending on what your project is. If you come in with a high quality feature film, you're going to the big film festivals because you want to sell it to a distributor to be able to get the theatrical releases. If you're looking at short films, you're taking those to festivals to be able to gather attention for your projects, to your quality of work, hoping to be able to elevate your career and the careers of those people involved with your short film. And often when we look at the smaller festivals, there isn't distribution there. The smaller festivals don't have distributors out there trying to buy films to sell. They don't have a film market where people are going to be going around and picking things to buy or market or whatever. Those aren't really a piece of those smaller festivals. The smaller festivals, it is more about networking. It's about getting to know other people, building those relationships with other filmmakers and with actors and the arts community in that area, and surrounding regions. And so that's a really cool thing. I know myself at smaller festivals, or film festivals like Central Alberta Film Festival, the best thing that I get out of that is meeting people, getting to sit down at a table with a filmmaker from Edmonton and being able to chat about some project ideas and just banter ideas back and forth, and potentially even build a relationship that could turn into a co-production at some point. I think that the world will continue to want those types of festivals. Many filmmakers will continue to want to meet in person at those festivals, to be able to share their work, see it on the big screen, like Ranjit said, and to be able to say, wow, you know, like this is what worked, this is what didn't, when you can see it on the big screen. Be able to discuss ideas. How did the film go? Have somebody come to you and say, hey, I liked how this scene went, or ask questions. I was confused about this part, and be able to help improve our skills and build our quality towards the next project. And there's also a new move towards online. Now, of course, coming out of a pandemic, a lot of festivals began to do online festivals temporarily. Some of those are switching back to live. Some of those are continuing, but with a live and an online portion. And I think that will continue, and that will help for people to be able to see the films and enjoy the films without having to spend the money to travel. I think there's a huge interest still in traveling to go to those festivals, though, because of the networking aspect. And especially if you have a film to sell, you're going to want to be there in person to be able to sell at those larger festivals. And at the smaller festivals to network, because it's kind of hard to network online unless it's in a virtual reality festival. I know that Granting Wishes Cinema, which is on Crypto Voxels, it is a virtual reality cinema. They hosted their first Film 3, Web 3 film festival on their thing in spring of 2022. And that was really cool, you know, purchasing tickets with cryptocurrency and being able to have a meeting up on the rooftop of this theater, and you know, look at some previews up on the rooftop, and then to go into the actual screening room and be able to watch the movies in there. It was kind of a cool experience. And so I think we are going to see more of that. I don't know that that's going to be taking over anytime soon. It's at this point, it's still much more, authentic to sit in front of a screen at a live festival. But I think there is potential. I think we might be headed that direction. And with people being able to, when they are helping to fundraise for a project like that, for a film online, and then be able to go to a virtual festival and be able to get a free ticket because they helped with fundraising and things like that. I think there's more possibilities for that with that online model that I think is coming on. But there will always be room for the regional festivals so that we can get together over a real pint of beer and talk about the movie that we just made and the movies that we just saw on the screen, and be able to share war stories from making the films and be able to build new networks and connections. And that is the final frame. If you want to find out more about anything else you've heard on this program, or to see other episodes, check out our Frame Forward website as well. Thank you very much, and I'll see you next time as we move one frame forward into the future.